Good Monday morning. This is the Kaiser Report. I'm John, and I'm coming to you today with the news as it happened over the weekend, which was not a whole lot other than the school talks with these Palestinian protest individuals that have seemed to taken over the halls of higher learning throughout the nation now. It's spreading. The talks are failing because they're setting up more and more tents, and they will not go away, and they will not try to understand what it is that they're protesting for or against or whatever. It's an ongoing situation that should be able to be handled immediately by the powers to be, which are the university heads that control the dollars coming in from the parents of these stupid children that are in the streets hollering about things that they don't know anything about, other than they're calling it genocide for this, that, and the other thing, and waving a foreign flag on the streets of America for no good reason. There is a war going on between Hamas and Israel. We have nothing to do with it, and our universities should not be blocking Jewish students who have nothing to do with it as well. It's ridiculous. And Israel has every right to justify going after and getting Hamas out of their daily lives. The Palestinian people put Hamas in charge of things, and that's when it all went wrong. Hezbollah was located in an area that they elected to be there. The Palestinian peoples are not at fault here. It's Hamas and Hezbollah, which are terrorist groups, known terrorist groups. When do we educate these idiots in the street that this is what this is about? Enough of that. War is bad. And we're coming to a point in this country right now where we may be looking at the dopes that sit in Congress and in the White House right now may involve us in a war before it's all said and done. That we'll talk about with regard to the recruiting deficit that's in our military right now, and the lack of arms that we have in our stockpiles because of us supporting wars around the world that we should have no business being involved in. This $90 billion bill that the Congress, with the help of our Speaker of the House, went through, and we don't have this money. But it's easy for them to sit in Congress and spend money that isn't theirs. And the fact that they set, during that vote, waving Ukrainian flags in the halls of our Congress and Senate is disgusting. And every one of those people up for election in November should be parted from their seats. Period. We have people in this country trying to make their grocery bills, pay for gasoline, pay for education for their children, to watch their fellow students walking around the streets flying someone else's flag and wearing a headdress and covering their face for a cause they know nothing about. They were never educated properly to understand that. And then when you look at the junior education levels that are below in math, they're below in science, they're below in everything they need to be successful individuals in this country or anywhere in the world, they're not being taught properly. It's obvious with the decline in the national averages of people who can't, in the 5th grade, read on a 2nd grade level. It's hard to believe that our educational system has failed us to this point where we now have students in the street not learning anything, protesting for a country that was at fault in starting this war. But they don't care. They look at it as a day off. They don't have to learn anything. This is why we produce what we produce out of these universities anymore that are non-productive citizens. It's a shame that I have to sit here and talk about this and see this on all weekend long. We didn't get out here. Kaiser and I did not get out with the camera this weekend due to the fact that we had a lot of farming to do to get ready for an early planting season. We're going to be putting in today the tomatoes and some vegetables into the garden. Everything is ready for it. We had pastures because of all the rain that needed to be cut and trimmed and down trees moved and things of that nature. And it took me an entire weekend to get that caught up. But we will be out this week definitely, and we'll see something. And then we have the Borderline Billiard thing opening up. And on Friday, we're going to visit a local butcher shop that raises his own cattle. I talked about them before. He's my personal butcher, Lazy J Farms in Kingsport, Tennessee. And we'll be out talking about and to them so you can get a look inside, and he'll explain to you all about Blonde Aquitaine cattle, which is the best beef you've ever tasted. So that's coming probably Thursday or Friday. So we do have some things that we're going to catch up with you and get caught up with some more touring. Of course, Borderline is opening this week, and we have the visit to the butcher shop. So that's coming. In other news, there's not a whole lot to talk about other than the fact that, Joe Biden decided to go on probably one of the worst talk shows ever with, I guess, on Sirius. And I'm sure you heard all about it, where he said he's going to probably have to debate Donald Trump. Well, I got to buy tickets to that because I don't think he's capable of debating anybody. And to go on to Howard Stern and have to promote yourself on Howard Stern, that ought to tell you that there may be a screw or two loose right there. I go way back listening to, he came in on NBC to opposite Imus in the morning, which there was no contest there. Don Imus, I was a friend, and he was pretty hard to beat right up until he left. They tried to televise him through the Fox channel for quite some time, and he became very popular on not only on the radio air but on the visual side too. So the optics were always there, and we're going to probably do a tribute to Don Imus here before too long. One of my favorite all-time disc jockeys, along with Murray the K and cousin Bruce Morrow and people of that nature that were the icons of broadcasting and radio in those days. I lived with that, grew up with that. It was awesome. Wolfman Jack as well. And Kaiser even likes Wolfman Jack. So we're going to say, we're going to let you out of here a little early today because we still have a little farming to do. But there's not a whole lot going on other than these protests and the fact that Congress continues to waste our money right down to the last penny. And going up into this election is going to be frightening at some point. If it isn't to you now, it should become evident real soon that there's going to be some fooling around with this election, and we have to be very vigilant and watch what's happening. And also prepare yourself and your family for what's coming, because it's a matter of time. So Kaiser says we got to go. So I'm going to let you go, and we'll be back to you tomorrow morning with a full-size Kaiser Report. And have a great day. We love you here at the Kaiser Report, and hope you will subscribe.